All right, so you're looking to buy a home, you're looking to move to Utah, or just anywhere out of state, and you're wondering, is that even possible? Do I have to move to the state first before I buy the home, or, can I buy the house before I move? You know, there's a bunch of questions when you're purchasing a home out of state, and so that's what today's video is about: is what is the process like and what to expect when you're purchasing a home from out of state. So I've got Brandon here. He is a mortgage lender with Intercap Lending, local. Are you guys national?
No, more local. We're in the surrounding states here around Utah,
Okay.
so we have branched out, but we're not a big national company, no.
Nice, nice. And that's one thing. When you're moving out of state, I would honestly go for local lenders, local agents, because they're the ones that know the area. They have different programs available that maybe some other lenders, national lenders, don't have available for that specific state or have access to. So we can talk about that later. But, when you're moving, one of the first things to do, find your local agent and lender, right? So, like Brandon, when they reach out, what kinds of things, when they're coming from out of state, do you look for or want from them initially?
Yeah, upon first contact from someone who's looking to move out of state, move here to Utah, is we look for, what's their future income going to be like? What kind of job do they have now? What kind of job plans do they have moving out here? Are they going to be salary, hourly? Are they self-employed? Do they receive commissions? Kind of all those different types of avenues of income. The easiest and best thing that we look for is if you're going to be salary, moving out here from out of state, then we can use that before you move here to qualify you for a home. And
What if they're like commission based, like they're a salesperson and they rely heavily on commission?
yeah, so if you rely heavily on commission and you're moving out here, there's a good chance that you're going to have some time out here to show what you're going to be making, just because this Utah could be different from where you're at, and so usually underwriting looks for a little bit of time here in Utah before we can use that commission to qualify you.
So if
And the
they're
same.
like purely commission based, can they get pre-qualified before they move here and start their job, or do they need like a certain like 6 months, a year, 2 years?
Yeah, and it really just depends, and that's where kind of what Matt said. One of the first things you need to do is just reach out to us and run the situation by us, just so we can kind of look at the big picture and see where you're at. Can be different for everyone depending on your industry, if you're going to be in the same industry, and so that's my recommendation: is reach out to us, have a conversation with the professionals, and we'll look at everything and kind of help you know exactly what you need to do before coming out here, especially on a commission job.
Nice. So what if they are salaried? So it's super easy, straightforward. You know exactly what they're going to make.
Yep.
What do you need from them in order to verify like income or whatever?
Yeah, so we look for job offer letters. Signed offer letters usually states when your start date's going to be moving out here, how much you're going to be making, and if there's any contingencies, such as passing background checks, or if it's a contingent upon you meeting a certain criteria. So those are some of the things we look for on those job offer letters. And but like I said, the salary offer letters are real easy to use for you to purchase a home before you come out here and even start the job. And we do that a lot for a lot of people, and it's kind of nice. So when you land, you already have a home ready, set up, ready to go.
Does it matter if it's like same industry, different industry, same company, just transferring from one state to another, but within the same company? Does any of that matter?
Not really when you're on salary. So as long as we have a two-year history going back, even if you're moving to a new job, whole different company, if it's salary and we have a start date and it's signed and there's no contingencies, makes it real easy to use
Nice.
to qualify it. So
But so 2 years,
mhm.
do they have to be in the job or have work just period for 2 years? Or what if they're like a new graduate, went to grad school out in whatever, Texas, and they're moving back home to Utah? Like, what about that situation if they're like we just had somebody, yeah, who just graduated and they were going to get a job out here because that's where family is?
Yeah, no, we can use college transcripts as part of a 2-year work history. A lot of people might have been working a part-time job while they were going to school as well. But yeah, we can use college transcripts. Any kind of job that you've had for the past 2 years. We just try to piece together a 2-year job history, which is a general guideline. And then, yeah, if you have a salary job offer letter to come out here, should be pretty easy in most cases to use that to qualify you
Nice.
for home.
Cool. Sounds pretty easy. What about, say, if someone's retired? They just retired and they want to come enjoy the beautiful trees and nature like we are walking in here.
Yeah.
Like, what if someone's retired and they want to come out here? What do they have to do or provide to you?
Yeah, so just any retirement incomes, right? So Social Security income, if you receive that, any kind of pension, anything that you get monthly, if you can provide those statements or those letters showing what you receive or what you're going to get, then we can use that to qualify you as far as the retirement and pension
Oh,
type
nice.
income goes.
Nice. Pretty straightforward. So as long as you have like documentation, really,
Yep.
of what your income's going to be or what you're planning to get and how you're going to pay for a house
Right.
or pay for your mortgage, more importantly,
Yeah.
then that's really all you need.
Right. Yep. That's all we look for is just documentation showing what you're receiving, how long you're going to receive it for, and as long as we can prove that that's going to continue moving forward and it's not going to go down, then yeah, in most cases we're looking good.
I don't know if you can tell, but we're walking up a hill. I'm starting to sweat.
I'm a little more out of breath.
So, if you see me wiping the glistening off my forehead, it's because it's going up a hill here.
Making this work. Breathing hard.
That's right. All right. So yeah. So once you get what we call pre-qualified with Brandon, and we can get a good idea of what you're going to qualify for, like house price wise, pretty much the process to buy a home is the same, right? So we're gonna go. Oh my gosh, man, I have stuff. Can't talk and walk.
Stop for a
I
minute.
can go in the shade. So pretty much it's gonna be the same, right? And so we're gonna look at homes. We're gonna figure out all the basics, right? What are you looking for? Square footage, bedrooms, bathrooms. You want how much lot land do you want? What city? What's important to you? Is school district important to you? Do you have like kids, or do you want to be within a 30-minute drive to work, or just stuff like that? And then we can like narrow down area and then homes, right? And so we'll send you a list of homes, and then instead though, this is where it differs, is obviously you're not here to see the homes, and so I can go out and film the homes. I actually just got done filming a home for a client, and then I can do some commentary with it, and then I'll send it to you, and then we just whatever homes you are interested in, I can go out and film, and we can get an idea of what that home's like. I'll give my feedback on it. We do have people though that do fly out here, and then we'll do just like 2-3 days of showings, and it can be hectic, and we try and limit it to like 5 showings. Kenzie's done 10 showings in one day.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was
Busy
rough.
day.
Yeah. And so we can do it that way. If you decide to visit out here before you actually want to put an offer in on a house, or if you are, say, from this area or know people here, I can take your friends or families to the showings, and then it's just kind of like a second opinion as well on what the house is like, what the area is like, and if it maybe is something you'd be interested in. So once you find a house after all of that, wow, I am dripping. Can you see that?
Yeah, you're working hard.
I know, jeez. My arm's getting tired too, holding this. So then once we find the house, then we have a discussion with Brandon. We have a discussion with the other agent, and we figure out what's a realistic offer, what can they do, what do they need, right? Sometimes
Right.
buyers need stuff from the seller in order to qualify even for the house.
Right.
Or, I mean, obviously any help from the seller helps, like $5,000 towards your closing costs, or getting a home warranty from the seller, or something like that. And that's where we just have a discussion with Brandon, with the other seller's agent, and figure out what's going to be a win-win for both parties. And if we absolutely need anything from the seller on the buyer side, or if the seller needs something specifically from the buyer, usually it's like specific dates. Maybe they're moving into a new house and they need to close by a certain time. And so that's where it's just like it's teamwork. And that's why you want to work with people too that communicate well, because time is money, and time could cost you the home if you aren't like right on the ball, because everything has deadlines and you don't want to miss something. So, geez. just sweating. I didn't realize it's like 55 degrees right now. Well, it's not.
Right.
So once we get an offer accepted, there's a period called the due diligence period, right? And so this is inspections. Let's make sure the house looks great. We hire a professional home inspector. They do only give you like a general overview of the house. But again, I can be there. I will be there for the inspection, and I will FaceTime or record that inspection walkthrough with you, and then go over it and share it with you. And we can do FaceTime, Zoom, whatever, so you can answer or ask any questions that you may have. Um, After that period, it's called the financing appraisal deadline.
Right.
And this is where, again, Brandon comes into play, your lender comes into play, because what happens during this period? Like, what was your responsibility during this period?
So before the finance and appraisal deadline, what we want to have done is we want to have an initial underwrite done through the underwriter, have a conditional approval. We want to make sure that the appraisal has covenant value, that there's no problems there. The home inspection, like Matt said, will have been completed and done by then, so we know if there's anything we need to address with the sellers. So really, and that protects any earnest money that you put down as well. So having that conditional approval through underwriting, making sure appraised value is good, the home inspection comes out nice. That's what we want to have done before that finance and appraisal deadline. And then once we meet that, we really want to be, submitting back for a final approval at that point. That's usually, 3 to 7 days or so before settlement deadline in most situations. So.
Yep. So typically, when you're purchasing a house, just anytime, it's about a 28-day period, right?
Right.
From when your contract or your offer is accepted till you close. It's about 28 days or 4 weeks.
Yep.
That first 7 to 10 days is your inspection period. The next 2 weeks is the finance and appraisal period, where the appraisal gets done.
Yep.
Whatever documentation the lender needs to verify everything is good to go. Then, like you said, that last week then is that final underwrite, final clear close, and we're all just crossing our fingers that Brandon can get his job done, and we get that email he sends everyone that says you are clear to close, and then we set a date for title to go and sign, for you to go sign all the papers. But again, if you're not in Utah, can it be done? Like, do you have to be in person to sign these closing documents? And the answer is no. You don't have to be here. I mean, it's nice. It's great if you're here, but we can do mobile notaries, right?
Yep.
Or we just had a discussion about a client who's across the seas, who's in Germany. And so what'd you find out about that? Like, what'd the title company say?
Yeah, so they actually they have people and connections in a lot of places, especially if you're military, that they have mobile notaries to be able to go out and help get all the documentation signed, so it's official, and then they can get it back to us in a timely fashion so we can record and fund by the settlement deadline. So yeah, that's again goes back to working with a good team, right? And having good communication and knowing what needs to be done so that we can still meet deadlines and still make it convenient for you as an out-of-state buyer.
Yeah. So, and that's what our job is. We're here. Let's go back this way.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go back down. Yeah. Before you move out here, it's always good to find the trusted team who's going to communicate well with you and that you trust, right? Because this is a big decision, and it can be scary, especially if you've never been to Utah or wherever you're moving to. And so, yeah. What do you think, Brandon?
Yeah, so like Matt said, we understand it's a big commitment, a big decision, and you want to be taken care of and feel like you're working with trusted professionals who have your best interest, and that's exactly what we do. Is another benefit with working with us as local
Experts.
Local experts.
Yep.
Is we understand exactly what programs are available and that you can benefit from, such as there was a VA grant available for $2,500 that these national lenders weren't aware of or can't offer, that local lenders like myself can. So,
well, even with you specifically with Intercap, it's more than $2,500, right?
and that's it. And so we offer you the grant, and then we also put money on top of that, so you're benefiting even more than just that local grant or that we have to offer. So
Yeah.
which you wouldn't necessarily get at one of these national companies that don't have that program available or can't offer that. So again, we're always looking out for your best interest.
And there's they're just releasing, like, it's hard. we'll be honest, it's hard for a lot of buyers right now to purchase this house, right? It's expensive. Interest rates are not great. But the state itself is actually doing things to try and help buyers. Like there's a $20,000 grant that the state's offering.
Yep.
Yes, there's some restrictions and some limits on what kind of house or price it can be, but
Right.
there's a 20,000 here in Davis County. There's a $50,000 kind of loan program that is again kind of restrictive, but if you qualify, I mean they're great.
Yeah.
But national lenders might not know about these different programs.
Exactly.
Or like Utah Housing, FHA, or
Right.
stuff like that, right?
Yeah, so there's a lot of programs, a lot of great things that you can benefit from. And again, that's why it's important to reach out to us so we can kind of take a look at your situation, make sure you're pre-qualified before you come out. There's no surprises. Nobody likes those, especially when it's this big of a commitment that you're making and you're going to be at a home for a long time. So again, we look at the whole scenario, have your back, have your best interest, and that's what we're here to do.
Yeah.
Take care of you.
So you just got to reach out, guys. That's the plain and simple thing is even if you just have questions and you're not quite ready, like say it's going to be 6 months or whatever, but you just want to get the ball rolling and get some answers to some questions, just reach out and we're happy to help you out, whether it's in 6 months, a year, whatever.
Right.
We're here to answer questions and it doesn't bother. It doesn't, you're not like interrupting our day or anything like that. This is what we do. This is our job and we're here to help. So
I think what Matt just said was really important is even if you're not quite ready, reach out to us because we can put a plan together, right? We can help you understand exactly what needs to happen, what steps need to be taken, and maybe it'll help you with the kind of job you're going to take out here. Maybe you're thinking, oh, I want to get a commission job, but that might not work best for you and your plans when you come out here. So maybe you switch gears a little bit and try to find something that's salary. All sorts of different things, but yeah, call us. We can put a plan together, help you understand what the expectation is and what needs to happen for you to qualify to purchase a home here. And we'll go over that with you, even if you're not ready to fill out an application quite yet.
Yeah.
So it's okay.
So I'll put Brandon's info down in the description below. As always, you can reach out, call, text, email, either one of us. And yeah, just reach out, guys. Thanks.
Thank you.